Picture this scenario. It is 3 a.m. in the morning. You are dead tired, but your eyes are wide open staring at the ceiling. Your heart is hammering in your chest. Your mind is racing through a slideshow of disasters. What if the transmission in the car blows up tomorrow? What if my laptop dies and I can't work? What if my tooth starts hurting and I need a root canal? Does this sound familiar? That tightness in your chest? That is the feeling of living on the edge of a cliff. It is the feeling of knowing that one bad day, one bit of bad luck, sends your entire life spiraling into chaos. But what if I told you there is a cure for this anxiety? And it isn't a pill. It isn't meditation. It is a specific, mathematical number. Most people think financial freedom is $1 million. They are wrong. The most important number in your financial life isn't $1 million. It isn't even $100,000. It is right here. $10,000. I looked at the data on human psychology and economics. And what I found is that $10,000 is the escape velocity number. Before you hit this number, the world is trying to keep you poor. The math is literally rigged against you. But the second you cross this line, the gravity flips. In the next 15 minutes, I am going to show you why your life is currently stuck on hard mode. And I'm going to give you the 3-step blueprint to hit your first $10,000 in 2026. If you click away now, you are choosing to stay in the trap. Let's fix this. My name is Ryan, and I am obsessed with the psychology of money. Why some people work hard and stay broke, while others seem to get rich by accident. If you are tired of the rich get richer cycle and you want to actually understand the code behind it, do me a favor. Hammer at the subscribe button and destroy it. We are building a community of people who are escaping the rat race in 2026. Join us. Now, before we talk about how to get the money, we need to understand why you are suffering right now. And I don't use the word suffering lightly. If you have less than $10,000 in the bank, you are suffering from a condition called decision fatigue. Let me explain the science of why being broke makes you stupid. I don't mean you have a low IQ. I mean your brain is literally functioning slower than a rich person's brain. Let's go to the grocery store. Simple, right? No, not for you. You are standing there looking at cereal. You want the good stuff. But your brain starts doing calculus. If I spend $2 extra here and $3 extra on the good pasta, that's $5. If I do that 4 times a month, that's $20. That $20 is my gas money for Tuesday. This is called microstress. You make 50 of these survival calculations every single day. Should I buy coffee? Can I afford the appetizer? Do I drive to the cheaper gas station that is 10 minutes away? Every single one of these decisions burns glucose in your brain. By 5 p.m., you are mentally exhausted. You have nothing left for your side hustle. You have nothing left for your family. You are just trying to survive until bedtime. And then, the bomb drops. The check engine light. For a millionaire, this light is an annoyance. It's a chore. For you, it is a catastrophe. Your cortisol levels spike. Cortisol is the stress hormone. When it spikes, your IQ drops. You panic. You start thinking, I can't pay this. I'll have to put it on the credit card at 25% interest. Or I'll have to beg my dad for money. This is the fragile state. You are walking a tightrope with no safety net. One gust of wind, one flat tire, one sick pet, and you fall to your death. But when you have $10,000, the biology changes. You see the light. You sigh. You say, that sucks. You drive to the shop, you pay the $500, and you drive home. You sleep like a baby that night. That is what you are buying. You aren't buying car repairs. You are buying your brain back. But the psychological piece is only half the story. Here is the part that will make you angry. It is actually expensive to be poor. This is what economists call the poor tax. And it drains your bank account faster than you can fill it. Let me give you a real-world example. Let's talk about boots. Or cars. Or teeth. Broke Ryan buys a pair of $50 work boots because that is all he has. They are cheap cardboard. They fall apart in 6 months. So he buys another pair. Over 5 years, he buys 10 pairs. Total cost? $500. And his feet hurt the whole time. Saver Ryan has $10,000 in the bank. He buys the $200 premium boots. They last for 5 years. Total cost? $200. Saver Ryan spent less than half of what Broke Ryan spent, just because he had the money up front. This applies to everything. When you have $0, you pay overdraft fees. You pay late fees because your check didn't clear. You pay monthly for car insurance because you can't afford the annual discount. When you are broke, You are leaking money. But once you save $10,000, you plug the leaks. You stop paying the bank fees. You buy in bulk. You pay insurance up front to save 15%. This is why the second $10,000 is easier than the first. The data shows that once you hit $10,000, your savings rate accelerates by roughly 30%. Not because you got a raise, but because you stopped paying the poor tax. You have reached escape velocity. Now, let's talk about the change that nobody mentions. The social change. When you are living paycheck to paycheck, you are a slave. I don't mean that to be offensive. I mean you have no freedom of choice. If your boss screams at you, you have to sit there and take it. You need that paycheck on Friday, or you are homeless. You have to say yes to the overtime you hate. You have to say yes to the toxic work environment. People can smell desperation. Your boss knows you can't leave, so he treats you like garbage. Now imagine you have $10,000 in the bank. That is 3 to 4 months of expenses. The boss yells. You look him in the eye. You aren't scared. You are thinking, I could quit today and be fine until Easter. This is called walking away power. And ironically, having this power usually means you don't have to use it. When you walk into a negotiation or a job interview and you don't need the deal, you become dangerous. You become attractive. Confidence is the highest value currency in the world. I have seen people with mediocre skills get massive raises just because they weren't afraid to lose the job. $10,000 buys you your spine back. It buys you the ability to say no. Okay, Ryan, we get it. $10,000 is magic. It fixes my brain, it saves me money, and it makes me confident. But right now I have $400 and a half-eaten sandwich. How do I actually get to $10,000? Most people try to save by trying harder. That fails. Willpower is a limited resource. You need a system. We are going to do the $10,000 sprint. Here are the 3 steps. Step 1 is the vampire audit. The average person wastes $3,000 a year on what I call frictionless spending. Subscriptions you don't watch. Convenience fees. $7 coffees. Print out your bank statement from last month. Take a red pen. Circle every single thing that didn't keep you alive or make you happy. Kill them. Be ruthless. That is your first $1,000 found instantly. Step 2 is payday jail. If you wait until the end of the month to save what is left over, you will save $0. You need to open a savings account at a different bank. One you don't have a debit card for. One that takes 3 days to transfer money out of. Set up an auto transfer for the day you get paid. Even if it is just $50. Move it before you see it. If you can't see it, you can't spend it. Step 3 is the hardest one. The identity shift. You have to stop identifying as a consumer and start identifying as a capitalist. When you see a new iPhone, the consumer says, I can afford the monthly payment. The capitalist says, that $1,000 is 10% of my freedom fund. Is this phone worth delaying my freedom by 3 months? Usually, the answer is no. When you start loving the number in your bank account more than the stuff in your closet, you win. Getting to $10,000 is the test. The universe is going to throw everything at you to stop you. Your car will break. Your friends will invite you on trips. It is a test of your character. But once you fill this jar once, you never have to push the boulder up the hill again. You reach the summit. And the view from up here? It is worth every single sacrifice. However, there are 7 specific traps that the middle class falls into that drain this jar back to 0. You might be falling for one of them right now and not even know it. I exposed all of them in this video right here.